heat race last year at Tampa Supercross. There was a rhythm section that I hadn't jumped all day. The track was kind of rutted in practice, so I didn't feel comfortable. So being second in points, I knew if I wanted to make up some ground on Jason, that I was going to have to, be doing everything that everyone else is doing. And there was a quad in the middle of the rhythm section, and I was behind Eli Tomac, and he's obviously a really talented rider, so I trusted his judgment off the jump and followed him off of it. And I just didn't hit it fast enough and came up short, went over the bars. Bike hit me, and literally only me, like bounced off me, so broke all the soft tissue in my pelvis in the front, dislocated my sacrum on the right side, snapped it in half on the left side, and AC separation in my shoulder. And yeah, that was pretty long, recovery time for all that stuff. Yeah, I think my story this year especially was kind of overlooked. I mean, I understand it because there's a lot going on this year. This is probably the most hectic and just so many moving parts in the season with all the different riders and kind of guys moving up, and there's a lot of talent. I think even Jason, winning the championship was overlooked too. There's so much hype around everyone else, and then me kind of being in second in points, going down and really kind of struggling with some things while I was, hurt and away from the sport and stuff. I think it was a lot harder than I thought too, because I got to start riding in, I think it was September, and I was like, oh, I'll have plenty of time to get back to racing shape. But you don't really realize I couldn't do anything for literally 4 months. I wasn't allowed to ride my bicycle, so I didn't get any cardio in, and I lost probably 4 years worth of training right there. Just, everything goes away, fitness, strength, and mobility, being in a wheelchair for two months, not being able to stretch, that was a big thing for me too. So yeah, it was definitely a lot harder than I had anticipated coming back. I thought I was gonna be able to go up to A1 and just kill it again, and was pretty humbled the first 4 or 5 rounds, and just had to learn my place, and it's been tough mentally for sure, but I'm glad I came back. Even if this was my last year, I'm glad that I could come back, didn't let an injury define me, and just get back out there. Because if I would have retired last year, I would have been what would have been there would have been so many questions, and I don't know, just it wouldn't have been as reassuring, I guess. It's been tough. I've never been in the position that I'm in right now this season. It's been up and down. I feel like my speed's picked up, but like I said before, my fitness and my strength has deteriorated last year. So I'm definitely making up for lost time. So that's been really tough for me to kind of swallow. Getting halfway through a race and getting really tired to where I don't know if I can hang on and make it much longer in the position that I was in. So that's been the biggest hurdle for me. But yeah, I've showed a lot of speed, and I don't know. I think that just coming back from what I came back from was just the biggest kind of achievement this season. It was tough, but I'm glad I did it, and we got one more round to go, and we head outdoors. So I'm excited for outdoors too, because I get to go to Florida and start training with Cincerillo and Roxon and Chase Sexton and all those guys. Yeah, I think Troy's kind of always had an eye out for, when there's a certain event or a certain race coming up and he wants to throw us in something to kind of make a statement. So this weekend we're going to Vegas, so we got the Vegas LE stuff on right now, and gonna show up and race in this stuff this weekend. And actually, I remember even before I signed on to the team, when they'd show up to Vegas in the Troy Lee gear, and kind of been jealous because it was kind of flashy, but also super stylish, because that's just Troy Lee's way. But yeah, he definitely has a way of putting his signature touch on things when it's a certain race or a certain thing that he wants to stand out with. Being a part of the Troy Lee family for 10 years now, literally a decade of my life, it's been amazing. And man, I was on the Troy Lee Honda team for 5 years, and now I've been a Honda guy and a Troy Lee guy for the next 5, and it's been fun. It's been really cool, and they've really treated me like family. Shoot, where everything's been going, with the pant, with the jersey, now gloves, and just recently, a couple years ago, the helmet. I was in it a little bit before it hit the shelves, and right away I was I'd never want to go back to any other helmet. It was so much better than anything else, and talking to Troy about how much engineering and testing that went on behind the scenes. It was like crazy, you know, just like product testing other guys' helmets and then putting up against his stuff and then testing with the new helmet and figuring out, you know, every little way that he can really make the sport safer, because your head's your most important part. You don't want to put that at risk and don't want to cheap out on a helmet. And now I think it's made everybody else step it up, like them working with MIPS. You know, everyone's kind of got MIPS in their stuff now. So he's definitely an innovator, and he's always been about safety. You know, he's always on me about not wearing enough safety equipment. That's why I got under protector on underneath my jersey now, and always wearing like everything I can to keep myself safe, is mainly because of Troy. And at one point I even put it in my contract, like I have to wear a certain amount in order to race for him. So he's always been about safety, and you know, that helmet that we have on is definitely a product of Troy Lee. You know, safety first. Troy's like, he's an icon. I mean, that's been really cool to kind of grow with him. I'm Cole Seeley with HRC Honda, and I've been on Troy Lee Designs for 10 years.